So today we're going to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We're now on episode 9 of the series, and in the last episode we saw all of Eastern Europe get annexed by a country. Here we saw more of Africa get gobbled up by the teal team and lime team. We saw many new countries stem from Vietnam and Southeast Asia. And we also saw Indian independence from the Azeris, this country right here. But the Azeris managed to keep this holding right here, which is going to be good for them. Until it isn't. Foreshadowing. Anyways, we also saw some Indonesian breakaways happen. And yeah, let's just get into the action, shall we? So first of all, we are gonna see our daily Britain updates. This country, he has just experienced an economic crash, and they are highly unstable, which just means that basically they decide to just get split in half. And And yeah, this country is basically split in half by the Northern English Confederation, along with Cornwall down below. So yeah, the Northern English Confederation, they get this half, and Cornwall, they get the other half. Which means that this country is no more. Which means they have no more capital. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. Next up, we are going to see this Scandinavian country. Well, basically, they have just discovered Svalbard, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So yeah, whoa, they discovered Svalbard. So cool. Wow. And you want to know what's also cool? They discovered Iceland. Hooray! Now they know there are volcanoes here. Cool. And they decide to make a small colony on Iceland, which is gonna look something like that for a bit. And they do the same with, and they do. What I just. Well, anyway, they do the same with Svalbard, except they don't get all of it. Next up, we are going to see the Azeris. These guys, yeah, they are going to expand some more into Central Asia. So, Azeri 18 forces is start to expand more into this, and they're doing that thing where they explore and conquer at the same time. It's definitely me not just being lazy and not having them explore more, because that would take too much time for my little brain. No. Oh. Well, they make it really far, and they decide, you know what, we're just gonna go in one direction at once. So yeah, they just like do a spearhead, and they discover this island, this lake, and they set up camp here, and they make it successfully back to home, exploring some more things along the way. So yeah, that was a Azeri expansion for you all. Oh. But next up, we are going to see an event happen in my WICSO. The Black Plague. That just happened, and that's not gonna be very good, because most of these nations would get more instability and thus more, wanting to break away, because if their government doesn't do a good job in closing off their borders, there's gonna be unrest in the people. And the first country to suffer from this is the Moldavian country here. Yeah, these guys, well, uh, they are very stable, all for or being such an early nation. They stem from down here, and they have to govern as far as up here. So this area is more, wanting to break away, and now the sentiment for breaking away is now times 10 because of the Black Plague, and there's growing unrest between the people. And these guys, they heavily rely on trade aid. So yeah, if they close their borders, their economy would probably plummet. But these guys don't care. They just want to survive the plague. But since the government won't let them, it's basically just gonna split them into uh, three halves, as which 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 are gonna be very big. So it's not gonna be very good for the Moldavian country. And these divisions are gonna look like this. The Moldavian country, he basically just lost like 2/4 of their land, and the navy part is, is gonna be this much, and the other half is gonna be like this. So yeah. So sorry if you heard my brother for a moment. He just asked me to take him out to get some pizza for the house. So yeah, sorry about that if you heard him. So yeah, it looks like that. And it's time to place the capitals for the new Moldavian countries, which are gonna look like this. The navy blue country is gonna have theirs right here, and the western brownish country is gonna have theirs right here. I should make a major city layer. I'm going to do that at in between in this episode and next episode, basically off camera, if you will. Hmm. I think I just accidentally shut my notes for a moment, so yeah. Mm. Next up, we remember that revolution thing that the blue team had last episode? Oh, the blue team is now a military dictatorship. Like basically, the king seizes all the power, and it's basically like an absolute monarchy sort of country. And this dictatorship, I'm gonna call it dictatorship instead of an absolute monarchy, even though it's an absolute monarchy, because dictatorship sounds cooler and more interesting. So yeah, the French Union, they funded this rebellion in the blue team because they wanted a president or leader that was friendly with them, because the blue team, they had bad relations with the French Union. And so they decided, let's make a rebellion there so they are friendly with us and can actually trade with us. So yeah, that is what happened in the blue team. Now here we have the line team. Line team, I'd say it's probably the biggest country. Maybe Russia's bigger, but I don't know. And the line team is suffering a bit from the Black Plague. Hey, and because of that, they are gonna have to let go of some provinces, because as these provinces, they just do not want to cooperate with the leader. They're like you all are failing us. You're not closing off your borders. You're letting this plague consume thousands of your people, and you're barely doing anything about it. So we're gonna leave you, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So yeah, as the breakaways are gonna be small. They're not gonna be large. They're just gonna be like mini breakaways, if you get what I mean. So the first division to break off from the line team, this is the biggest one probably, is gonna be these select few provinces. The reason why it's these specifically, it's because these provinces wanted to break away, but these ones didn't. So yeah, that results in this weird looking border that with provinces turned off doesn't look that bad, but with provinces turned on, it's a big ol' yikes. Ugh. Mm. The next breakaway is right here in Somalia. Uh, it it does not get all of that. Don't you worry. Let me just fix the border up a bit. Now it gets all of that at basically the southern parts of the line team. So yeah, that's about it for the African breakaway. Is next up we're gonna see a new country pop up here, which is this division that's gonna be here in Persia. Is gonna have these select few provinces. Is is that that's the second to last breakaway from the line team. In the last one is going to be over here in Oman. That has these borders and provinces. Is and that's about it. It's for the divisions of the Lime team, the mini breakaways, if you will. Oh, oh. So yeah, let's do the capitals. Bing, pong, pling, boom. Another country that's gonna be suffering from the Black Plague is the Bangladeshi empire thing. I'm gonna call this the Bangladesh Empire, and the Bangladesh Empire er, er, is not doing so hot. Specifically down here, these provinces is are not being treated very well because of the Black Plague. They made some policies here that specifically damage this area more because of the Black Plague, but these areas are not having any of it. So these areas are gonna break up into three countries, and those three countries are gonna look like this. Is this country? He has two provinces, this one has five, and this country has four provinces, and it's cooked, is all I'm saying. Definitely not foreshadowing a future episode. While we're in the area, the Indian country, yes, this Indian country, he is also not doing so hot in the revolution, and they are not just gonna have to uh, have many breakaways. No, no, no. They are going to have an entire revolution because the people are unhappy with the government and want to overthrow it and close out their borders and not talk to anyone until the plague has been dealt with. And, and the and thus pockets it's of rebellion and start forming in the Indian country. The, the government, while they were expecting this, they were prepared for This. This. I don't know why I'm saying that word so much. But, 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 Indian troops start to enter this revolution and manage to cut it off completely. But why say cut it off? Encapsulated completely. The same with this one when they managed to cut it off. But this this revolution thing right here, this one is the main one, and that one are gonna use their forces to connect up with the other pockets and connect up with the others, encircling a large amount of Indian troops right here, which surrender. And now they have cut off this chunk of India, which means they are not getting any more supplies because the supply lines are cut off, which is just a matter of time before this entire area is encircled. And yeah, yeah. The Indians are surprised that they are losing this war, or mm, and this reddish country is gonna take advantage of this and gonna start invading in, in India uh, as well. I managed to connect up with the coast, and the Indian team, they surrender over to the revolution. And and yeah, let's take a look at what the peace treaty is gonna look like. And in this peace treaty here, we can see that this country, they get all of this land. Pretty good for them, if you ask me. And since the Indian country lost, they are gonna have a new government, and that is gonna basically close off all the borders. And I'm gonna fill in this little bits right here because it infuriates me that that's there. And because of them closing off their borders, the Azeris, they cannot uh, their colony. They cannot get to it anymore, or, or, which means they're gonna have to relinquish it until this country opens up their borders for them to cross through. Which I don't think is happening anytime soon. And they can't go through the line team because the line team have learned from their past mistakes, and they are not going to open up their borders anytime soon. Mm. Which basically means that this country basically just gets unwanted independence from them, which basically just boom, boom. Mm. And I just realized that I haven't done on the capitals for these guys, so yeah, let's do that real quick. And there we go, all the capitals are set up for the Bangladeshi countries and Sri Lanka. The green team has been hit really hard, or because of the Black Plague, and they aren't doing so hot, if you know what I mean. And because of this, is some provinces of their country are going to split off and join other nations, and those provinces are the these northern provinces is going to the red team. These provinces up here now going to Germany. These provinces going to Czechoslovakia. These eastern provinces going to Slovenia. But this province over here decided to actually stay with the green team. So yeah, that's gonna be an eyesore when you turn on provinces. These three French provinces. These few provinces going to the African Union. These few provinces going to the purple Croatian team. This amount of provinces going to Bulgaria. And lastly, this one province going to the pink team, which now gives them access to the Aegean Sea. Next up, the Egyptian Empire. Well, this part of the empire, it is very wanting to break away, like very, very, because plague cases are way higher here and in here. And the Egyptians, knowing that this area wants to break off, they also don't want the plague to enter to more of this, like the mainland. And so they are just going to decide, you know what? We are going to split off peacefully. Oh, and by the way, the line team used this as an opportunity to fully annex the lands that they claimed from the teal team. So thought I'd just throw that in there. And the split is gonna look like this. As all of the Mesopotamian territory that they had, gone. That's a brand new nation now. So you can suck it, Teal team. Well, you're actually one of my favorite nations, so don't suck it. Okay, so time to do the capitals. Their capital has been put. Hey, remember this Central Asian nation? Well, that collapsed because of the plague. The numbers were just too high, and basically everyone was affected. Most of the people died here, and the survivors just fled to the Azerbaijan or Russia. Uh, so yeah, Azerbaijan and Russia decided, you know what? We're just gonna split this country down the middle. Said split will look like this. The Azeris, they get this half, and the Russians, they get this half. Uh, so yeah, the Central Asian country, that is no more. So we can remove its new capital, uh, which means the Russians, they get bigger. Hooray for all the Russian fans. Next up, this Chinese nation. Remember these guys? They formed last episode, so you gotta remember that. Well, you probably don't because that episode was laggy as shit. So sorry about that. Uh, but yeah, this country, they are going to explore more of this. Like, why I say this is they're gonna explore more of Asia. Uh, so, oh, they, a, bruh, the tolerance is just wacky today. They they decide to go along the coast so nobody gets lost, and they go around the river, and they continue along the Chinese coast. Oh, oh, and they go from here, and somebody thinks they see an island here, but that's not an island, and there's no island there. There's some people decide to stick here, and some people actually decide to swim over here, and they land on the Korean Peninsula and discover all of it. And they also discovered this island and the southern Japanese Isles, and more of the like middle Japanese island. They discover more of it. It's like they basically just make it up to Kanto, and this peninsula thing, and they say, all right, we're just gonna go back to this and we'll explore the rest of it later. So, the people that did not stay there and cross the sea, they continued to go along on the sea, and then and they meet up with the people that had stayed in this peninsula thing, and and they decide to make their own separate countries. These first of which is gonna be what colors are there? The this weird orange color. This is gonna be the Koreans, and so basically just claim all of these areas, as in most of South Korea, and the Chinese, the other Chinese explorers, they decide they're gonna make their nation here. So, and this nation has more population in it, so they can expand more, because more people are like, there's no island here. Yeah. And turns out the person that thought they saw an island didn't see an island, but they saw the Korean Peninsula instead. But these guys managed to go around here, and before they can get this peninsula, Korea's like, you're not getting that. That's ours. And yeah, Korea colonizes it, and they basically just expand and into all of this. And they haven't set up a capital yet. It's because they not have that much experience in doing it, And it's definitely not me just being lazy and wanting to put the capitals off camera so I don't have to do that recording. No. Well, but the Chinese, they continue to explore outwards, and another civilization is gonna pop up here. It's gonna be this weird yellow color. They decide to set up right here, and to colonize more of northern Japan. And they decide to get all of that, and they also decide to colonize it, and they decide to like set up a camp right here, and they've made their own nation, which is cool. More nations out here. That's cool. Hmm. I don't know why I said hmm. The Chinese country also expanded a bit into the northern-ish Chinese land, and so now I'm gonna call this country Taiwan, this one South China, and this one Northern China, so I don't get confused. So yeah, they basically just claim all of this, and I do not like that white spot there, so I removed it. And but yeah, they're really good at expanding, and the reason they can do this, it's because lucky for them, they're the countries next to them have closed off their borders, which means that basically no all black plague cases have been found in China, which means they can expand with ease because it hasn't gone there. So yeah, they basically just expand a whole lot, and they decide to cut this country off. Also, they can't expand, which to them is a douchey move. But what can you do? So this country, they are getting really big, really fast. The Taiwanese country, they don't like that. So they say, if you're gonna expand, then we might as well. So they decide to make a landing on the Philippines, and basically we start to colonize all of the Philippines. Before anyone can take more land from them, specifically the Malaysian country, they've already claimed all of the Philippines, like all of it, which means no land for you, Malaysia. And China, South China, they don't like that their neighbor is expanding, so they are gonna expand even more as well, more than they did. And and the and this country here, they're seeing that this country is expanding fast. They also want to expand quick because they want to take as much land from this country as possible. So they decide to expand quickly and very viciously. They make a landing over here and basically claim all of this area. And I'm going to fix up the border because it looks really ugly off camera. And they manage to explore more of this area and decide to go out over here. And they manage to go out really far. Or and they decide to come back in a different direction. And they almost make a wrong turn and turn to a hostile country, but they managed to make it in time. And they actually I'm gonna change this into white because I don't feel like it's fitting to have that be in purple. Oh. So so yeah, they explored all of that, and they are now moving down here, and they not colonize, they expand into more of this, and the reason they can do it at such a fast pace and South China as well, it's because the other countries, they have to do it more slowly because the plague has gotten there. But this country, they are more efficient in doing so, and they don't have the black plague, which means win-win for both situations. And 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 because I don't want you all to call me a lazy butt, I am going to do the capitals. There, I did it, the provinces. So now you all can call me lazy. But anyway, that'll do it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. Please leave a like and subscribe. I hit the notification bell, smash the like button, and smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!